What up, everybody? Hope y'all having a wonderful day. If you guys make it today, do a dabber. Try to come up, say what's up. Do the morning show. Talking about the morning's fucking news. See what happened while we was off. And what'd they do? You gotta know. Let's see. Got the bong fired up. Let's get the old YouTubing fired up. Oh yeah. I got a kickstart in my heart. Woke up with my coffee. Nabbies. Let's go. Let's see. Israel Hamas war alive. Israel destroys Hamas rocket launching post used to attack Israel. Let's go to Hutchins. Al Zahira. Let's see what they got going. Do the screen share. What do you guys see? Oh. These are my news sources where I go. We don't need that unfiltered shit. Don't like too much habit. This dude, Coco Boy, I've been watching him this morning. He been scoring all over Israel. Say Tesla India Colt. Hurricane Ernesto. For those that don't know, this
shingle, it's metal
coming in. So
surprising, right? And this one also metal.
Hurricane Ernesto is barreling through the Atlantic Ocean this morning, where forecasters say it could become a major hurricane in the coming days. Jared Hill has the latest.
Hurricane Ernesto is now off the shores of Puerto Rico, but the storm has left behind quite a mess. Drone footage shows water covering nearly everything in the town of Toa Baja after the La Plata River overflowed. At one point, the storm, which hit Puerto Rico as a Category 1 hurricane, knocked out power to more than 700,000 people. That's about half of all power customers on the island. Luma Energy, the Commonwealth's main utility, says Puerto Rico is better equipped to handle the aftermath than it was during Hurricane Maria, which devastated the island 7 years ago. In coastal communities, cleanup is just beginning, with the storm knocking down trees and leaving neighborhoods.
Another one coming, guys. Another one. This one's supposed to impact Carolinas.
It's underwater.
The government today is much better prepared. We are in touch with all agencies. We have the support throughout. We have trained employees. We have the support from FEMA.
The U.S. Forest Service has announced that El Yunque National Forest will remain closed to the public until it's safe to visit. In Manatí, first responders hoisted a 62-year-old woman and her husband to safety. St. John and St. Croix are also experiencing island-wide blackouts.
We've been through these types of storms before, and we always come out as we are resilient people.
As Ernesto makes its way north through the Atlantic Ocean, forecasters say it could bring nearly 8-foot waves to the northeast. The Carolinas, still recovering from Tropical Storm Debbie, could begin to see coastal effects from the storm as early as today. Jared Hill, CBS News.
Yeah, I just wanted to touch base on that, let you guys know what's up, Chad and Andrea. My love, Chapman's my love. Oh, that's horrible. Horrible. All right. Let's get into the other rabbit holes. See what else we gonna get up here. Oh. Lamb plant. You guys want to look at the lamb plant from history? What if that's a touch on base? Yeah, fuck it. Let's touch on that because I watched it, but no, you guys haven't watched it. Big shout out to
Those fake ads really drive you mad, huh?
Chuck really out here doing his things, exposing all this shit. So this shit's
Whoa.
crazy.
They done found 2
What
real
up, Miss Becca? My brother,
mandrakes.
respect. Thanks for stopping in. We're gonna be watching videos on land plant from history.
Yeah. Can you imagine that thing talking?
Matter of fact, Ronnie's gonna get into these baby Jeters. I'm gonna smoke one of these bad boys infused, and I'm about to get into the edible. So I'm about to get high, get motivated, fucking expand our horizons on some land plants.
Yeah, man, guess what? We growing off the tree, cuz you'd never guess. We've been growing off the tree.
What is it's
It says countries and isles that are beyond the lands of Cathay. This is the different continents beyond
man, I love Vexen Bay. Why?
entertainment purposes only. You guys better lock in and buckle up because you're in for another creepy and scary TikTok reaction video. You want to be careful with these disturbing discoveries because they might make you rethink your whole reality. Before we do anything, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Also, hit that bell and turn notifications to all so you don't miss a live or a new video. So let's dive into these creepy and scary dark waters.
I said not too many people know I got a YouTube. Plus, I'm on my computer, so I see your picture really, really big. Go for it. Which one is edible a little bit? I'll throw the link up. Link will be in description, guys. Third one. What up, Will? All right, we good on that? Let's go. I want y'all to drop y'all comments. Do y'all really think that these land plants really existed from ancient lore?
How did they know it tasted like crab meat? For this to be a legend, they go into way too much detail. What did they say this was? The Lamb of Tartary? We gotta write this down. We're going that route today. So you guys better lock in and buckle up, because this is gonna be another creepy and scary banger.
Mystical and Otherworldly Beings, Part 32, the Tartarian Goat Plant Entity. Okay, so admittedly, this one's a little bit out there. It's also known as the Lamb Plant of Tartary. Some of you may be familiar with the concept of Tartaria, in that there is a modern conspiracy theory that suggests that Tartaria was an area between Mongolia and Eastern Europe that had...
Oh, these mango sherbets. Baby Jeter, that motherfucker smell good. Oh, we gonna break into this. I'll start hacking. I'll hack. I have to mute it, but
extremely
that motherfucker smell good.
Advanced technology, and that was destroyed during a mud flood, and the advanced technology was then suppressed by the powers that be today. Put all that aside for a second. The reality is that in terms of mainstream archaeology, they do acknowledge Tartary as a loosely knit collection of peoples and cultures. And in the Tartarian culture, there is the myth of this lamb plant thing. Essentially, the lamb is the fruit or the produce of this plant, and it is stuck to the plant's root and stem system through a kind of umbilical cord, as depicted. Now, these vegetable lambs are said to have grown all over the land of Tartary when Tartary was a place. Apparently, the sheep, or the produce of this plant, would graze on the land around the plant. And when they finished grazing all of the shrubbery around the plant, both the plant and the sheep would die. Now, the creature itself went by many names. One of the more famous ones is the Boromats, or the Boromats. There have been a number of writers that have written about this creature. Many of them suggest, especially the more contemporary ones, have suggested that it wasn't exactly a real being. It was actually a plant that went extinct, and the fruit of the plant just happened to resemble a lamb, but it was obviously a fruit and not an actual animal that grew from this plant. Now, obviously, since Tartaria no longer exists, we can't verify this, and apparently the plant no longer exists either. But it's fun to think that they may have seen this actual plant that had a fruit that looked like a lamb, and they created this mystical being out of it. Who knows?
Is this what they be talking about? A Lamb of God? I wonder. So many questions, so many.
If you're asking, there's definitely some truth to it, because too many people are saying this myth from different parts of the world. You know, yeah, it could have been a plant that went extinct, but they were way too in depth with their description.
Right, a lamb, an animal, tethered by a plant to the ground. The animal would eat all the grass around it until it could no more, and it eventually died. And its meat tasted like crap. I mean, it's a fucking vague description that don't leave nothing to the imaginations on it.
With this plant, you know, how could you make this up? For entertainment purposes only.
Wow. So yeah, that is that's a new one.
While I was watching a video, I learned about a legendary creature that I thought was so absurd I had to cover it. This thing is called the vegetable lamb of Tartary, that was believed to come from a vast region of Europe and Central Asia, known then as Tartary.
So many questions. Like, I guess got me thinking, like, okay, was they mistaking fucking cotton? There's so many fucking questions.
Now, I need to give...
You guys got a question, drop it in the comments. I'll get to you. I will answer you. But what's your thoughts on this? Because this has got me mind boggled. Like, was it a cotton plant been mistaken for a lamb plant or whatever? Then again, I've never ate cotton plant to know if it tastes like crab. Has anybody ever chewed on a cotton plant stem or something? Just one.
The people who believe in the zoophite some slack, because this was a popular myth during the Middle Ages. Medieval text describes two varieties of the vegetable lamb. The first produced little newborn lambs inside its pods, and the other had a life-size lamb attached by its belly button to a short plant stem like an umbilical cord. The stem was extremely flexible, so it allowed the tethered lamb to graze on the vegetation around it. But once all the vegetation was eaten, or if the stem broke, the lamb would die. To be honest, if this thing existed, I would love to eat it because it sounds delicious. It is said the vegetable lamb has delicate flesh that tastes. While I was watching,
we dove a little bit into this in my last live. I'm gonna play a quick summary of yesterday's live. Check this out if you haven't already.
It doesn't just grow, it changes its leaves to look like other plants. Imagine a vine crawling up a tree, and then suddenly its leaves start looking exactly like the tree's leaves. It's also kind of like those creepy plant tentacles in the Body Snatcher movies, but this is in real life. But here's the wild thing. Scientists think this vine might actually be able to see in some way. Plants like the Bokeela vine have these special cells that can sense light. But they're not just soaking up the sun, they're figuring out what's around them.
Guys, that's fascinating. A plant that can see, we already know they can breathe using photosynthesis. Hey, your boy paid attention a little bit. I just wanted to say that, man. I don't know what I'm talking about, but I believe that's how plants breathe photosynthesis, yeah. But that's fascinating though. These plants it's a lot to plants they're not really telling us, I believe. We gotta really question everything and dive into it. Especially these giant trees too. You don't want me to get started about the giant trees. You really don't want me to get started about how the fallen angels chop them boys. Don't get me started. That's down the line. We're gonna get into that. And I didn't even talk about the root system. My last video, it's got minutes since we talked about the trees, and I love talking about the trees, to be honest. I didn't even get to dive into that.
That's wild. So this plant they're explaining like really does fucking end up seeing around it. Its environment.
Root system, man. There's a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff to talk about. Retro. Nature is amazing. Yes, it is. I love nature. I really do.
This vine might be using these cells to copy the leaves it touches. It's like it has its own natural camouflage. And that's got a lot of people in the science world scratching their heads. Some experts even think plants might share some features with animals, maybe even us. This vine's trick of changing its leaves could mean that plants are way smarter than we thought. Maybe they've got something like a brain to process all this info. Crazy, right? But hey, if a plant can act like something out of a sci-fi story, who knows what else is out there in the plant world?
I mean, how do we know that a plant doesn't have a brain? It's because it's not like our brain or a fucking animal, reptile, or amphibian brain. Like we say it's not a brain. How do we know it's not a cellular fucking level brain? Each cell fucking transmits fucking information back and forth, working as a brain. We do know that plant cells are different from our cells, like teetotally. Just a thought. Just a thought.
The concept of plant species cloning humans might be symbolic of technologies we're familiar with, like test tube babies or cloning farms. But let's take it a step further. What if beyond symbolism, there was once a possibility through some form of advanced husbandry or ancient technology to actually grow animals with plants. Imagine a surgical procedure creating a chimera, a hybrid that continues to grow, tailored with specific characteristics. Consider the complexity of plant life and fungi. They have more genes than animals, suggesting a level of intelligence we haven't yet grasped. Maybe there was once a plant species capable of growing animals, something that doesn't exist anymore. Well, we do have many stories of animals being grown from plants throughout history, but these have been relegated to the realm of myth and or mistake.
Oh, this is getting good.
But it was simply a misunderstanding. This ties into the Lamb of Tartary. The vegetable lamb of Tartary is a legendary zoophyte of Central Asia, once believed to grow sheep as its fruit. Now, the mainstream explanation for this is that this was simply a misconception, that these were actually cotton plants. However, the problem with that argument is that it relies on ignoring.
See, somebody else had that thought, so I wasn't the only one. I'm just going off the descriptions. I mean, we know our fucking ancient ancestors. It's hard for them to fucking understand what the fuck they saw and put that shit in the context that we understand today. And that's where fucking shit gets misconstrued all the time. But at least I wasn't the only one that went to the fucking narrative that it had been a cotton plant. It may have.
Many details of this fascinating story.
All right, guys. I just want you guys to understand what we're talking about now. A sheep is growing off the end of a plant. Whoa. This is fascinating.
The Lamb of Tartary is also called Agnus Cithecus in Latin, and it was also called Boromets. But interestingly, that's the Tartar word for lamb, but it is also referenced in older books as Bonnerets, which I see no mention of on Wiki. Again, the mainstream perspective, mainly due to Henry Lee's book from 1887 on the topic, is believed to be solved. I think that's just a cover-up.
Check this out. See,
there it is again. Cotton plant.
This debate has been going on for centuries, as some of the first descriptions of the Boromets come from early Greek authors. Herodotus makes mention of a plant that produces wool in India somewhere around 442 BC, commenting, quote, "Fruit produces wool with finer and better quality than that of sheep. Of this the natives make their clothes." End quote. Theophrastus, the disciple of Aristotle, had earlier described wool-bearing trees with a pod the size of a spring apple, leaving those of the black mulberry, but the whole plant resembled the dog rose. So a pod? This story is also in the Talmud and Christian Bible, and has been discussed by several Jewish historians. The Mishnah Kilaim section of the Jerusalem Talmud, in attempts to practically expand on agricultural prohibitions mentioned in Leviticus and Deuteronomy, makes an odd foray into cryptozoology when it discusses the Adnei HaSadeh, or Fadua, with a vague, unspecific reference to a slightly more animalistic Yedua. This is also known as the Jedua with a J, which is mentioned in Leviticus 19:31, which has been translated as wizard in the modern day. So is this Jedua associated with alchemy or magic of some kind?
Genesis 30:40 describes how sheep bred in a certain area mixed with forest brush made their coats become speckled like forest camouflage. The animal's DNA picked up the surroundings. Whoa. Shout out Method Marine. Let me read that again to y'all that's not listening, man. Let me say that again very slowly. We're going to look this up. Genesis 30:40 describes how sheep bred in a certain area mixed with forest brush made their coats become speckled like forest camouflage. The animal's DNA picked up the surroundings, just like this plant that they were talking about on this. Hey,
I wonder if that really says that, because how the fuck did they know about DNA? That's what I mean. But like, is there even a word for the fucking? Let me see. Word for DNA or for DNA. This is oh, literally it means DNA. Dandias. Hadar Hanis. Okay. So yeah, there was DNA in the ancient Greek words. So it's crazy. So they knew about DNA back then. That makes you just go on a whole nother fucking rabbit hole.
hey, that's scary. I got goosebumps. Still says Raj, y'all. I was hoping it was gonna say. And it's interesting because that's how it said in Genesis.
Wow. All right. Let's go. I want to touch on this.
And Four Pictures hooked us up. This is a new product here that they've came out with. It is meat in a can. All right.
Fuck your meat in the can. It's a lot of that time.
This amazing book from the fragments of the Kawan. It's Middle Persian. So what this is the book of the giants. It was, this piece that I'm reading to you was released by the Bulletin of the School of Oriental and African Studies in the University of London in 1943. The transcriptions of the original text have been omitted. So Isaac de Beausova, or Huguenot, author of one of the best books ever written on Manichaeism, the history.
I don't even. Oh, wait. Here we go. This is what I've been really fucking getting into. There are books that are recognized mainstream fucking says the book of Genesis. It's not one. Already touching on it.
The first book of Adam and Eve, also called The Conflict of Adam and Eve with Satan. On the third day, God planted the garden in the east of the earth, on the border of the world, eastward, beyond which, toward the sun rising, one finds nothing but water that encompasses the whole world.
I want to remind you, I spoke earlier, we went to the book of Enoch, and the book of Enoch speak upon tree of wisdom and tree of life on opposite ends, west and east. Okay. So, and we know that the book of fucking wisdom is by the Garden of Eden, Island of Mu,
and reaches to the borders of heaven. And to the north of the garden there is a sea of water, clear and pure to the taste, like nothing else, so that through the clearness of it one may look into the depths of the earth. And when a man washes himself in it, becomes clean of the cleanness of it, and white of its whiteness, even if he was dark. Then God created that sea his own good pleasure, for he knew what would come of the man.
No, we gotta find something short of that. The 2-hour fucking extra audio. Let's see. I need it broke down. This one. Thanks for bearing with me, guys. Thanks for stopping in. I love everybody. An enlightenment journey.
As these
I
revelations
have in no way, shape, or form any religion. And I do believe there's a higher power, but I just do not believe in man's God. For things like this, like these are scrolls, books that have been found. Everything that they put in the Bible, it even depicts some upcoming events that are in the Bible in the New Testament that, you know, these date like as old as anything in the Old Testament. So just trying to show you guys.
For the first time in over 60 years, we have fragments of a biblical book.
the lost book of Adam and Eve has been found, revealing surprising things. Step into a fascinating journey where the timeless tale of Adam and Eve takes on captivating new dimensions. Imagine
I also want to specify this is in not any way, shape, or form the book of Genesis. Okay. This isn't. These are stories that go along with it. You know what I mean?
Imagine stumbling upon a long-lost manuscript that unveils a fresh perspective on their post-Eden odyssey. This captivating video offers a glimpse into their struggles to reconnect with the divine, unraveling profound truths about human nature and the enigmas of creation. Prepare to be intrigued as these revelations challenge conventional beliefs, inviting us to rethink our understanding of ancient narratives. Join us as we embark on an adventure through the pages of this newfound gem, the Book of Adam and Eve, and witness how it reshapes our perception of the world. In 1926, amidst the excavation of King Tutankhamun's tomb in Egypt, a remarkable find emerged. A manuscript believed to recount the story of Adam and Eve, titled The Contradiction of Adam and Eve, or The Conflict of Adam and Eve with Satan. This extraordinary text delves into their journey post-expulsion from Eden, introducing familiar characters from humanity's dawn. While not part of the canonical scriptures, it presents an intriguing alternative narrative, offering fresh insights into their timeless saga, separate from the established accounts found in the Bible and Quran. The true origins of the Book of Adam and Eve remain shrouded in mystery, with scholars
And this is why I fucking preach everybody. You know, if you are religious, I really fucking urge you to read the Torah, the Quran, and the Bible. Okay. I really urge you to just get a hold of a Genesis Bible. Okay, like an actual old Genesis Bible, not a King James version. And if you read that son of a bitch, I guarantee you will fucking change your life. You'll find books in there that you never knew were even in the Bible. You read books like this and scrolls like this, and you see that it was found in Tutankhamun's burial. So it's old. Like, why are we not, putting the rest of the story in the fucking book? The Bible is a book. The Quran is a book. The Torah is a book.
Speculating it could date back centuries before Christ's time. While the idea of its author remains elusive, some theories suggest it may have been crafted by an ancient Egyptian writer, possibly originating in Arabic. Despite its obscure beginnings, this text's influence transcended language barriers, with translations extending its reach into Ethiopian culture and beyond. Beyond its narrative, the Book of Adam and Eve.
There's that Ethiopian fucking agenda again. Telling you, if you want to know the true Christians in the world, Ethiopians, 100%. They still living in 2016 to this day.
Eve holds profound significance. Interestingly, echoes of its themes can be found in both the Jewish Talmud and the Islamic Quran. This hints at its potential role in shaping early religious thought, despite not being included in the canon of major religious texts. The presence of these shared concepts underscores the enduring impact this book may have had on shaping humanity's understanding of its origins. Attributed to an anonymous Egyptian scribe who penned the tale in Arabic, the Book of Adam and Eve eventually found its way into Ethiopian literature through translation. However, determining its exact age presents a challenge, with conventional wisdom placing its composition several centuries before Christ. The first English translation surfaced in the 19th century, revealing glimpses of its narrative embedded in the Talmudic and Quranic traditions, cementing its importance in the annals of early human literature. A fascinating
Apologize for these.
Revelation regarding this enigmatic text is its division into two volumes, comprising the Book of Adam and Eve. The first volume delves into the gripping narrative of Adam and Eve's expulsion from the paradisiacal Eden, chronicling their encounters with the temptations orchestrated by Satan. Meanwhile, the second volume unfolds the compelling saga of Seth and the tumultuous clans descended from Cain before the Great Flood. In a surprising twist, the text introduces the notion of Cain and Abel having twin sisters. Cain, drawn to his twin sister Lulua, finds himself entangled in familial expectations, leading to the tragic demise of Abel. In vivid detail, the text recounts the earth's shuddering response to Abel's spilled blood.
Did you not hear what the fuck that just said, okay?
The text recounts the earth's shuddering familial expectations, leading to the tragic demise of Abel. The text introduces the notion of Cain and Abel having twin sisters. Cain, drawn to his twin sister Lulua, finds himself entangled in familial expectations, leading to the tragic demise of Abel. In vivid detail, the text recounts the earth's shuddering response to Abel's spilled blood and Cain's futile attempts to conceal the crime, culminating in Adam and Eve tenderly sheltering Abel's remains within the sanctity of their cave for 7 years. Moreover, the Book of Adam and Eve diverges from the traditional biblical narrative by suggesting that both Cain and Abel made offerings of both blood and grain. This departure challenges the account in Genesis 4:3-4, where only Cain's offering of produce from the soil is mentioned, while Abel presents the choicest portions from his flock. This discrepancy adds layers of complexity to the post-Eden narrative, unveiling a comprehensive depiction of Adam and Eve's journey as they navigate a new beginning within the mysterious confines of the Cave of Treasures. As Adam and Eve bid farewell to their idyllic abode, the Garden of Eden, the gate sealed shut behind them, guarded by a formidable angel wielding fiery weapons. Journeying across rugged terrain, they stumbled upon a cave atop a lofty hill, seeking refuge within its sheltering embrace. their provisions diminished to humble fare of cooked grains, foraged vegetables, and scant herbs, stark contrasting with the abundance they once enjoyed. Entering the cave hesitantly, Adam grappled with waves of sorrow, mourning the stark contrast between their current dwelling and the lush splendor of the garden they once called home. He likened the cave's confines to a prison, yearning for the expansive beauty they once reveled in. The rocky shelter provided a semblance of protection. It paled in comparison to the divine sanctuary they once inhabited, where celestial beings danced in praise. Within the confines of the cave, Adam and Eve bore children, Cain, Abel, Labuda, and Kalima, amidst their reflections on the irrevocable change wrought by their departure from Eden. Adam, imbuing the cavern with significance, bestowed blessings upon it, sanctifying it as a sacred space for prayer for himself and his descendants. Dubbing it Muragas, or the Cave of Treasures, he imbued it with the legacy of their journey and the hopes for their progeny. Adam's journey highlights the profound mercy of God towards his creation, even in the face of punishment for transgression. As Adam and Eve departed the sanctuary of the garden, their spirit weighed down by uncertainty and fear, God's reassuring words reached them, infusing them with strength and resolve. Despite the desolation of the unfamiliar landscape before them, devoid of the verdant beauty they once knew, God's comforting presence bolstered their spirits. Overwhelmed by the stark contrast of their new surroundings and the altered appearance of the tree of knowledge, Adam and Eve trembled with apprehension at the sight of the angelic guardian standing watch with a flaming sword. Fear gripped their hearts as they anticipated divine retribution. Yet the angel, moved by compassion, interceded on their behalf, pleading for God's kindness. In his infinite compassion, God beheld their distress and offered words of solace, lifting them from the depths of fear and despair. He reassured them of his enduring plan for Adam and his descendants, promising a future shaped by his divine will. Despite the trials ahead, God's unwavering promise served as a beacon of hope, guiding Adam and Eve through the uncertainty of their journey on earth until the fulfillment of his divine plan. God's promise to Adam reveals his profound mercy and compassion for humanity. He assures
Filling in a lot of fucking shit, isn't it, guys? From the fucking actual book of Genesis. Filling in that whole gap. So many questions. That's what I said. Like, how can you give me a book and expect me to read it and not have questions? And no matter who I talk to, like, you have no answers for me. Well, you guys would throw these books in there, you know, the ones that go along with all this shit. Like, this should be your after Genesis. Legit.
Adam that the same word that created him, the word against whom he transgressed and was commanded out of the garden, would also be the one to raise him up when he fell and ultimately save him. Initially, Adam is puzzled by the mention of 5.5 days, fearing the imminent end of the world. Yet God, in his boundless mercy, elucidates the meaning, explaining that these days symbolize 5,500 years during which the word would come to redeem Adam and his descendants. In this act of mercy,
did you guys hear that? 5 days. So this is in the early times. So go back to Genesis. So just run Genesis times. You get your narrative on how long it actually took for the earth to form.
God reaffirms Adam's significance as being created in his own image and likeness. He exhorts Adam to fortify his heart and remain steadfast within the sanctuary of the Cave of Treasures, where he would find solace and protection. Upon receiving this comforting revelation from God, Adam's spirit is uplifted, reassured by the promise of salvation and the divine plan for his redemption. Through this exchange, God demonstrates his unwavering commitment to guide and save his beloved creation, exemplifying his boundless love and compassion for humanity. The symbolism surrounding the Cave of Treasures, as a place of penance for Adam and Eve's wrongdoing, contrasts with Adam's preference for the expansive sea. In the creation narrative, the vast crystal sea borders the Garden of Eden, strategically positioned to greet the rising sun. Beyond its shimmering expanse lies an endless stretch of water, enveloping the earth and stretching towards the heavens. To the north of the garden lies a remarkable sea, renowned for its unparalleled purity and
You have something in your home right now that
Sorry about that, guys. What's up, Jimmy Stone?
clarity. Legends speak of its pristine waters, so transparent that one can peer into the very depths of the earth. Metaphorically, bathing in these crystalline waters signifies a profound purification, capable of transforming even the darkest souls into purity itself. It's believed that this sea was crafted by God out of his boundless goodwill, foreseeing humanity's future. Following humanity's expulsion from Eden, souls would be born on earth, among them righteous individuals whose spirits God would resurrect on the final day. The significance of the sea lies in its pivotal role in humanity's eventual redemption. As souls return to their earthly bodies, they will partake in the sacred act of bathing in the sea's cleansing waters, absolving themselves of sin and paving the way for spiritual renewal and reconciliation. In this way, the sea symbolizes the divine promise of redemption and the enduring mercy of God, offering hope for humanity's eventual return to grace and purity. God's deliberate decision to banish Adam from the garden with strategic placement away from the northern border, where the Sea of Cleansing lay, reveals his wisdom and foresight.
There's your cleansing waters. So, guys, we've been getting baptized in fucking fresh water, and this is not what he said. This is what he said. Seas, salt water, seas of cleansing.
By ensuring Adam and Eve's distance from the tempting waters, God prevented them from washing away their sins and escaping the constant reminder of their transgressions. Placing Adam on the southern edge, though offering the soothing fragrance of the garden's trees, risked distraction from the remorseful reflection on his actions. Instead, God, in his kindness and wisdom, directed Adam to a dwelling on the vast western border of the garden, where the land stretched wide and expansive. Here, beneath the garden's expanse, lay the Cave of Treasures, serving as a constant reminder of Adam's choices and their consequences. Despite the promise of eventual redemption through divine assistance, God's mercy came with a stipulated time frame, imposing upon Adam and Eve the weight of their loss compared to their former life in the garden. In this nuanced narrative, God's guidance reflects both his compassion and his insistence on accountability. While offering comfort and hope for the future, he ensures that Adam and Eve remain cognizant of the gravity of their actions and the journey toward redemption that lies ahead. The profound consequences of Adam and Eve's expulsion from the garden extend beyond their immediate circumstances, shaping the very essence of humanity and its spiritual journey. Central to this transformation is the concept of the bright nature within humans, depicted as their purest, highest, and most divine essence. Often referred to as the true self, the higher self, or the soul, this aspect is believed to be eternal, transcending the confines of our physical bodies and detached from worldly desires and attachments. In essence, the bright nature represents the eternal divine part of the human being in constant communion with God and untouched by the illusions of the material world.
Bingo.
Through practices such as meditation, prayer,
Bingo. I ain't even got to play no more of that. There you go. Keep praying to your false idols, everybody. I don't knock everybody's fucking religion, but keep praying to your false idols. And this is why this book is not in mainstream shit. Let's go check out some blackjack. Just wanted to drop a little knowledge on people. Probably piss a couple people off. It'd be okay. Let's get on here. See who we got up in the air yesterday. We had F-35 up, y'all. See if we see any today. Me, my ship seems to be running pretty damn good. Right, for some reason I'm locked on a Boeing 757-200. Let's back out. Screen share this up. Man, I love everybody stopping in. I love. Bum, bum, bum. Oh, up here. Alaska, watch it, buddies. Y'all, it's gonna have a little rain. We got a little rain coming too. It's right here. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Oh, we gotta wait for this thing to load. Come on. You can do it. Who's a good boy? Alright, she's still loading. Wait, fucker. I'm gonna turn all these other ones off. Ah! That's how much we got in the sky, guys. Alright. Turn some of that shit off too. Ba-bum. Wait. Better turn my necks right back on. So this is the thing I'll be telling people about right here. You gotta watch that. Wow. So define that down to military. Cool. That's a jet. DHA. No idea what it is. No idea. Oh, Canada on the move. Like we got yeah, much helicopters up over. I'm gonna let this thing catch up. Like I said, man, I love everybody stopping in. We just up here watching and see what we got up. There's a refueler. K35Rs. There's a Canadian one. Gold 18. That's fucking hilarious. That's our 20. Here's our Hurricane right there. Y'all see it. I should have the next red on, right? Yeah, the next red's still on. I'm still waiting for this thing to catch up. I might as well do a dab while I'm waiting on it. So yeah, it's just one of the many apps. Like I see a lot of people using. Actually, this is even. They do have an app, but you can look on the internet at this. If you guys don't know how to use it, I'll simplify it down. Yeah, hit that little U at the top, the one that's highlighted. You see the three? It's got a U, an N, or M, whatever it is, and then a T. You just want to click that U, and the U will track military, all military. Because you guys would be looking for, like me in the beginning, Air Force, and you got the U.S. Department of Justice. They got their own planes and helicopters. The Navy has their own planes and helicopters. The Army has their own C-130s. Just a little truth, a little knowledge. This is acting extra stupid. Yeah, I would say they're motherfuckers saying they're having problems with fucking service. Fuck them. Fuck them in the ass when I say it. That's what I was like. I'm just trying to get high. 1-800-W-BALLS. Oh shit. Jimmy, you back? Why don't you hop up and go down with me, Jimmy? Or does somebody come on up here and fucking smoke with me? I'm thinking about rolling me a roach joint. Currently waiting on this storm to hit us here. Oh shit, there we go. Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby.